here magnetic field due to a current carrying coil at any point on its axis. What will be the magnetic field due to a current carrying coil at any point on its axis? Yesterday I explained you about the magnetic field due to a circular coil, due to a current carrying circular coil at its center. And what was the formula? So at the center it comes out. What will be at the center? You can see here. If there is a circular coil of radius r carrying current I, then what is the magnetic field at its center? At center, it comes out mu naught I upon 2r. If there are n turns in the coil, if the coil is having n turns, then it will be equal to mu naught Ni upon 2r. If there are n turns in the coil, then P equals to mu naught Ni upon 2r. This is the magnetic field at the center. It's clear. Now today we will determine the magnetic field at any point on the axis. So you have seen that when I told Biot and Seward's law, when I told magnetic field due to current carrying circular coil, we have assumed that they are situated on the plane of paper. They are situated on the plane of paper. But now we will assume, here in this case, we will assume that they are situated perpendicular to the plane of paper, means like this. I am going to show you. This is the plane of paper. You can see here. This is the plane of paper. And coil is situated perpendicular to the plane of paper. It is situated in such a way that its axis is lying on the plane of paper. You can see here. This is the axis of this circular coil. What is the axis? Axis means it will pass through its center and perpendicular to the plane of coil. Plane of coil is this. This is the plane of coil. So what is the axis of this coil? A line passing through its center, which I have marked as O, and perpendicular to the plane of coil. This is the axis. Now you can see here, this is the point P. Have you seen? Whose distance from the center is x. We have to determine the magnetic field. It's clear? How will you determine the magnetic field? So see here, we have assumed that the current is flowing this way. You can see here, current is flowing this way. Current is flowing this way. This point I have marked as x. This is the point where current is going in what direction? Upward. Current is going in upward direction. Yes. Here you can see at this point x, current is going upward. While here, current is going perpendicular to the plane of paper in downward direction. Perpendicular to the plane of paper in downward direction. At x, it is going perpendicular to the plane of paper upward. At y, it is going perpendicular to the plane of paper downward. So if you see what will be the direction of current element at x, who can tell? As you know that current element is along the tangent in the direction of current. What will be the direction of current element?
Vertically upward.
It will be in this direction, as I am showing here. This is the direction of current element here. What will be the direction of current element at y? It will be
Vertically downward.
Yes, it will be along the tangent in downward direction. Along the tangent in downward direction. Now, if you have taken this current element at the x, with respect to this current element, what will be the position vector of point P? Position vector of point P will be this, which I use shown by vector XP. Have you seen? Have you seen? This is the position vector of point P with respect to the current element situated at point X. Means this. This will be the position vector. Now, who can tell angle between current element vector and position vector?
90 degree.
कितना एंगल है? Current
90.
element vector and position vector.
90 degree.
What is the angle here? This is the position vector R. This is the current element vector X. What is the angle? Angle
90
is
degree.
90 degree. And why it is 90 degree? Because the current element vector is normal to the plane of paper, perpendicular to the plane of paper, and
Sir,
position
center is
vector
3D, na?
is on the plane of paper. Therefore, angle will be 90 degree. Angle will be 90 degree. It is clear.
Sir, center 3D है ना?
Now the same thing I have tried to show here. You can see here. This is a current carrying circular coil whose radius is A and carrying current I. You can write down the notes. Shivendra, you can write. Because these things I will not write here. Its derivation is in your book. So this is a current carrying circular coil of radius A, carrying current I, is situated perpendicular to the plane of paper. This it is situated perpendicular to the plane of paper. मतलब इसका आधा सेमी सर्किल ऊपर है और आधा सेमी सर्किल बोर्ड के. It's clear. It is situated. So what will you write? Let us consider a current carrying circular coil situated perpendicular to the plane of paper in such a way that its axis is lying on the plane of paper. Let its radius is A and it carries current I. Its radius is A and it is carrying current I. Now, in next statement, what will you write? Let P is a point at a distance x from the center of the coil on its axis, at which magnetic field is required. P is a point on the axis of the coil at a distance small x from the center. So see here. Here I have taken direction of current this way. So you can see at this point current goes perpendicular to the plane of paper upward, means this way. Current is going this way. And here current is going perpendicular to the plane of paper downward. As you know that normal direction upward denoted by dot, normal direction downward denoted by cross. So here I will put cross. Is clear? So now all of you see here, this is the direction of vector I here. This is the direction of vector R. So what will be the direction of magnetic field? So as you know that from Biot and Sever's mu naught upon 4 pi vector IDL cross unit vector R upon R square. So from here it is clear that the direction of magnetic field will be normal to the current element as well as normal to the vector R. As well as normal to the vector R. So see here what will be the direction. So direction I use put here. You can see in the diagram that vector dV is perpendicular to the vector R. Whether it is perpendicular or not. vector dB is perpendicular to the vector R, as well as vector dB is also perpendicular to the vector ideal. And why? Because ideal is normal to the plane and vector dB is along the plane. Vector ideal is normal to the plane, vector dB is along the plane. It is clear? So it will be in this direction. Same applies to the other point y, which is diametrically opposite to the x. Same thing is applying to the other point y, which is diametrically opposite to x. Diametrically opposite means they are 2 inches of the diameter. Here this is x is 1 inch of the diameter, this diameter, and y is the other end of the diameter. It's clear? So y is a diametrically opposite point. And with respect to the current element situated at y, what will be the direction of vector r? So it is vector r dash. It is shown by the different symbol. What will be the direction of magnetic field normal to this? It's clear? As you know that direction of magnetic field at any point will be normal to this vector as well as to this vector. So this is the direction. Now you can see here, if you see, then it looks like a cone, not looks like a cone, it is exactly a cone whose vertex is P and whose base radius is A. So if the current element, you can see here, just now we have taken current element at x and at y. Suppose current element is situated here. What will be the direction of current element? Direction of current element will be this, along the tangent. What will be vector r? Vector r will be this. It's clear? Similarly, here, if when you will see, what will be the vector r? Vector r will be this. So, whatever be the position of current element, this magnitude of vector r will always remain same, and it will be equal to what? It will be equal to the slant height of the cone. Whatever be the position of current element on the circular coil, direction of that magnitude of vector r, position vector magnitude will remain same. It will be equal to the slant height, which is equal to r. It's clear? So though they have been represented vectorially by different notations, पर जो वेक्टर r का मैग्नीट्यूड होगा वही वेक्टर r डैश का होगा, और क्या होगा? स्क्वायर रूट के अंदर a स्क्वायर प्लस x स्क्वायर. It is clear? So see here. Now you write down these points. I am once again repeating. You can write it. Let us consider a current carrying circular coil situated on the plane of paper in such a way that its axis is along the plane of paper. Let its radius A and it carries current capital I. Let P is a point at a distance x from its center at which magnetic field is to be found. In order to determine magnetic field at the point P, let us assume circular coil is made up of infinitesimally small current elements, each of length dl. Each of length dl. X and Y are two diametrically opposite points, in which at the point X, current goes perpendicular to the plane of paper upward, and at point Y, current goes perpendicular to the plane of paper downward. Therefore, magnetic field into current element situated at A, X, and x. So if you see here, so dB equals to mu naught upon 4 pi I dl sin 90 degree. Because we have to write 90. It is here you can see magnitude of vector r square. When you will write this, simplify, so it is mu naught upon 4 pi I dl into sin 91, and it is simply r square. So dB equals to mu naught upon 4 pi I dl upon r square. This you can take 1. Similarly, you can find the magnetic field due to current element at y. X and y are two diametrically opposite points. Magnetic field due to current element situated at y. So see here. Here it is equal to dB dash equals to mu naught upon 4 pi I dl, and here also angle between current element vector and vector r dash 690 sin 90 degree upon vector r dash. But we already know that vector r's magnitude, vector r dash magnitude is equal to r. They are equal to slant height of the cone. So it is dB dash equals to mu naught upon 4 pi I dl upon r square. This is 2. So you can see here from 1 and 2. And dB is equal to dB dash. dB and dB dash are equal. Now what will you do? You will resolve dB and dB dash along the axis and perpendicular to the axis. Here I am going to resolve dB and dB dash along the axis and perpendicular to the axis. So you can see here. When we resolve it, I have taken this angle equals to 5. Therefore, this will also be equal to 5. This is the semi-vertical angle of the cone. Now see here, this angle is 5. Therefore, this will also be equal to 5. And why it is so? You can see here, इसके perpendicular, OP के perpendicular कौन सी लाइन है? ये blue one. And HP के perpendicular कौन सी लाइन है? ये black one. So the जो angle यहाँ इन दोनों के बीच में होगा वही यहाँ. So similarly, this is also equals to 5. When you will resolve dB and dB dash, so their vertical components will be dB cos phi and dB dash cos phi. As you have seen that dB and dB dash are equal. Therefore, dB cos phi, dB dash cos phi both will be equal in magnitude, opposite in direction, therefore they will cancel out. It's clear? What will happen to the components which are along the axis? So it will dp sin phi, and from here it will dp dash sin phi. It's clear? Means you can see here the contributing component of magnetic field will be what? It will be the one which is along the axis. It is one which is along the axis, whose magnitude is dp sin phi. Same applies to any other points, any other 2 points which are diametrically opposite to each other. Same thing applies here also. You take one point this, other point here. Clear this. Then you take one point this, other point here. Same thing applies for any 2 points which are diametrically opposite to each other. Means for every current element, whatever be the position, what is the contributing component of magnetic field along the axis, it is dp sin phi. Because rest of the components will be the component which is normal to the axis, that will be cancelled out. It's clear? So see here, I am going to write the same thing. You can see. Now on resolving. Vector dp and dp dash along the axis and normal to x. Now see here. The normal components db cos phi and db dash cos phi being equal in magnitude and opposite in direction. Therefore, they will cancel out each other. Therefore, we will cancel out each other. Because of every current element, contributing component of magnetic field will be db sin phi. Contributing component of magnetic field will be db sin phi. Means whatever be the position of the current element, what is the contributing component of magnetic field will be db sin phi along the x. Along the x. So here, how will you find the total magnetic field? So it can be found by integrating this. over the whole coil. Over the whole coil. It is clear? We will integrate dp sin phi over the whole coil. And if you are adding both, अगर हम दोनों को ऐड कर रहे हैं, then only over the half coil. Only over the half coil. So we will take only due to one current element and integrate over the whole coil. So see here. Therefore, total magnetic field at E, it will be integral dp sin phi over whole coil. Now you substitute the value of dp. So you can see here what is the value of dp here. This is mu naught upon 4 pi I dl upon r square into sin phi. What will be sin phi from here? Sin phi perpendicular upon height. That is a upon r. A upon r. Here you can write sin phi equals to a upon r. So when you will simplify, you take out the constant terms outside. So mu naught upon 4 pi constant. I current, it is also constant. A radius of the coil, it is also constant. And R cube, it is also constant, because for every current element, distance of P from the current element is same. It is equal to the slant height. So you can take out mu naught I into A upon R cube into integral dl over the whole coil. Now what is integral dl? Integral dl, it is the sum of the lengths of all the current elements. Sum of the lengths of all possible current elements situated on the coil. Means it will be equal to circumference, which is equal to 2 pi a. Circumference will be equal to 2 pi a. So circumference of coil, that is equal to 2 pi a. So you substitute it here. Here you substitute. What will you get? On substituting, when I will substitute, so it will be equals mu naught upon 4 pi into I A upon R into 2 pi. It's clear? It is 2 pi. Now 2 pi 1 jar 1 and 2 pi 2. So a into a is a square. So b equals to mu naught I a square upon 2r. But we will not write the answer in terms of r, because r is not assumed in the beginning. Beginning will even a or x assumed. So see here from the diagram you can see. From diagram, if you see, r is what? It is the square root of a square plus x square. Here a is radius. So this can be written as a square plus x square power 1 by 2. So what is r cube? A square plus x square power 3 by 2. When you will find out r cube, it will be this. So in place of r cube, you put this. So b equals to mu naught I A square upon 2 within bracket A square plus X square whole to the power 3 by 2. This is the magnetic field due to current carrying circular coil carrying current I having radius A at any point on its axis whose distance from its center is x is given by this. Now suppose if there are n turns in the coil, if the coil is having n turns, then in that case what? If there are n turns in the coil, so if there are n turns, you will multiply it by n, and in that case v equals to mu naught n I a square x square whole to the power 3 by 2. This will be the magnetic field. Now see here, what will be the magnetic field? You can see here, what will be the magnetic field at the center, which you have found from the yesterday. So what will be at the center? Who can tell? Magnetic field at the center. So yesterday we have seen that at center it comes out mu naught I upon 2 into radius, and radius is now A. Radius is not R here. Radius is 2 into A. Now if you find out the magnetic field at the center by using this formula. So see here, from here you can see for center, what is the value of x? X will become 0. The value of x for the center will be 0. And when you will put 0 here, it is a square ki power how much? 3 by 2. A square to the power 3 by 2. And a square power 3 by 2. When powers will multiply, so it will come out a cube. So see here, mu naught I a square upon 2 a cube. Now a square upon a cube means a. A square upon a cube means a. Means it will be mu naught I a upon 2 a. So from the Biot and Savart's law, these are the two derivations. One due to the circular coil at the center, and the other due to the circular coil at any point on the axis. Now there is no other derivation on the Biot and Savart's law. Tomorrow I will begin Ampere's circuital law. That is also one way of determining the magnetic field due to a current carrying conductor. And there are two applications of that: magnetic field due to a infinitely long current carrying conductor and magnetic field due to a toroid. These two topics are based on our applications of Ampere's circuital law, which are in our course. So now reduced syllabus you can see from the council's website. Already I have given in the WhatsApp group. It's clear. So all of you go through the reduced syllabus, and it is like last year's reduced syllabus. There is no increase or decrease from the last year's reduced syllabus. It's clear. So now I am going to end the meeting. किसी को कोई दिक्कत?